When your dog stares at you, most people either look away, laugh it off, or assume they just want food. But scientists have discovered that what is actually happening inside your dog's brain during that stare is one of the most extraordinary biological events that occurs between two different species anywhere on Earth. And the reason most owners never fully appreciate it is simple. It looks ordinary. It looks like just a dog staring. But once you understand what that moment is actually doing to both of you, you will never casually glance away from your dog again. Let's start with what that stare is really made of. 1. The stare that changes both of you at the same time. Have you ever locked eyes with your dog and felt something shift? Not just warmth, something deeper, something almost inexplicable, like the moment stretched slightly and everything else in the room went quiet. That is not your imagination. That is chemistry. Literal, measurable, biological chemistry happening inside both of you simultaneously. In 2015, a team of researchers at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science that sent shockwaves through the animal behavior community. They measured oxytocin levels in both dogs and their owners before and after periods of mutual eye contact. Oxytocin is the same hormone that bonds mothers to their newborns. The same chemical that fires between humans during the deepest moments of trust and love. What they found was almost unbelievable. When dogs and their owners gazed into each other's eyes, oxytocin levels surged in both the human and the dog. Not just the human, both, at the same time, through nothing but a look. The researchers described it as a bonding loop. The dog looks at you, your oxytocin rises, you look back, their oxytocin rises, and the bond between you physically deepens with every second that gaze holds. And here is the part that makes it even more remarkable. When they ran the same experiment with wolves raised by humans, it did not work. The oxytocin loop did not activate. Which means this is not just an animal behavior. This is something dogs developed specifically for us over thousands of years of living alongside humans. Your dog did not inherit that stare from their wild ancestors. They evolved it for you. But not every stare means the same thing. And there is one type of stare that most owners completely misread. It happens right after your dog does something wrong. And what it actually means is nothing like what you think. 2. The stare that happens when they know they did something wrong. You walk into the room. Something is knocked over. Something is chewed. Something is very clearly not the way you left it. And your dog is sitting right there, completely still, staring directly at you with those wide soft eyes. Most people call this the guilty look. They post videos of it online. They laugh about it. They assume their dog knows exactly what they did and is waiting for the verdict. But here is what behavioral scientists have actually found. And it might completely change how you respond in that moment. A study published in the journal Behavioral Processes led by researcher Alexandra Horowitz found that the so-called guilty look in dogs has almost nothing to do with guilt at all. Dogs do not experience guilt the way humans do. They cannot replay the memory of what they did an hour ago and feel moral remorse about it. What they are actually reading in that moment is you. Your body language, your tone, the way you walked into the room, the shift in your energy the second something felt off to you. That stare is not confession. That stare is your dog tracking every micro signal your body is sending and trying to figure out what is coming next. They are not looking at you because they feel bad about what they did. They are looking at you because you are the most important variable in the room and they need to understand where you stand. Which means when you walk in, see the mess, and your dog locks eyes with you immediately, they are not guilty. They are scared. And they are looking at the one person in the world they trust most to tell them whether everything is going to be okay. How you respond to that stare matters more than you realize. Because that dog is not calculating. They are not manipulating. They are just a creature who loves you deeply, reading your face for safety, hoping what they find there is something they can trust. 3. The stare right before they fall asleep. This one is quiet. It does not announce itself. You might have seen it dozens of times and filed it away without a second thought. Your dog is settling in for the night. They are circling, adjusting, finding their spot. And then just before their eyes close completely, they look at you. Not a long stare, just a moment. A quiet, soft, deliberate glance directly at your face. And then they close their eyes and let go. That is not random. That is a check-in. Canine behaviorists describe this behavior as a security confirmation. Before a dog allows themselves to enter sleep, their brain runs a final environmental scan. Sounds, smells, spatial awareness. And for dogs who are deeply bonded to one person, that scan ends with a visual confirmation of where you are. They are not just falling asleep. They are falling asleep knowing exactly where you are. Their brain has logged your position, your presence, your stillness, and used it as the final signal that it is safe to let go of consciousness. Think about what that means. Out of everything their senses could check in that last waking moment, they chose your face. They needed to see you one more time before the world went dark. And hey, if this video is already changing the way you see your dog, hit like and subscribe. We make videos that help dog owners understand what their dog has been trying to say all along. And it means everything to us that you are here. 4. The stare from across the room when they do not come closer. You are in the kitchen, or at your desk, or watching something on the couch, and you feel it before you even see it. That specific feeling of being watched. You look up and there is your dog, on the other side of the room, not moving toward you, not asking for anything, just sitting completely still and looking directly at you. Most owners find this slightly unnerving. Some laugh and say their dog is being weird. A few even feel vaguely judged by it. But what that stare across the room is actually communicating is one of the most tender things your dog will ever offer you. Dogs are proximity animals. When they love someone, their instinct is to close the distance. To touch, to lean, to be physically near. So when a bonded dog chooses instead to stay across the room and simply watch you from a distance, it usually means one of two things. Either they are respecting that you are busy and they do not want to interrupt, which in itself is a sign of emotional attunement that most people never credit their dog for having. Or they are in a state of what researchers call passive companionship, where being able to see you is enough. The visual connection satisfies something in them without needing anything physical in return. That stare from across the room is your dog saying, I do not need you to do anything right now. I just need to know you are there. And knowing you are there is enough. It is the dog equivalent of sitting in comfortable silence with someone you love. No words, no demands, just the quiet reassurance of presence. 5. The stare during your worst days. There is a specific kind of day that most people have experienced. The kind where nothing catastrophic happens. Nobody would know from the outside. But inside, something is heavy. You are carrying something invisible and exhausting and you have not said a word about it to anyone. And your dog finds you anyway. Not with noise. Not with demands. They just appear in your space, sit down in front of you, and look at you. Steady and unblinking. Like they are waiting for something you have not said yet. This is not coincidence. And it is not your dog being clingy or bored. Research from the University of Nottingham confirmed that dogs are capable of reading human emotional states through a combination of facial expression, body posture, vocal tone, and scent. When your cortisol levels rise from stress or emotional pain, the chemical composition of your body actually shifts. And your dog's nose, which is estimated to be between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than yours, detects that shift before you have consciously acknowledged it yourself. So when your dog stares at you on your hardest days, they are not reacting to what you said. They are reacting to what your body is broadcasting without your permission. They smelled the change. They read your face. They felt the weight you were carrying. And they came to sit with it alongside you. They cannot fix it. They know that. But they chose to stay in it with you rather than go find somewhere more comfortable to be. That stare on your worst days is not your dog asking for something. It is your dog offering you the only thing they have. Which is themselves. Completely and without condition. 6. The one stare that means they have fully chosen you. Remember at the beginning when I said there is one stare that means something different from everything else on this list? Something that goes beyond bonding, beyond trust, beyond even love as most people understand it. This is the one. You are not doing anything special when it happens. You are just existing. Reading, eating, sitting quietly, maybe staring at your phone. Nothing remarkable. Nothing worthy of attention. And your dog looks at you the way they look at nothing else in the world. Not with excitement. Not with need. Not with the alert attention of a dog waiting for something to happen. Just a long, soft, completely still gaze that lands on you and stays there. Relaxed eyes, relaxed body, no agenda behind it at all. Researchers studying canine social cognition describe this as the resting gaze. It is distinct from attention-seeking stares, from fear responses, from the oxytocin-triggering mutual gaze. It is something quieter than all of those. It is a dog whose nervous system is so settled in your presence that looking at you has become its own form of rest. They are not staring because they want something from you. They are staring because looking at you feels like the most natural thing in the world to them. Like their eyes simply go where they feel most at home. And you have to understand what it took to get there. Your dog has been reading every room, every person, every moment since the day they were born. They have made thousands of small decisions about who is safe and who is not. What to trust and what to avoid. Where to be alert and where to finally exhale. And somewhere along the way, through all of that reading and deciding and learning, their eyes started coming back to you. Not because you are perfect. Not because you always got it right. But because something in them decided, on a level deeper than thought, that you were worth looking at. That the world made more sense when you were in it. That their gaze had found the place it wanted to stay. That stare is not admiration. It is not gratitude. It is not even love exactly, at least not the kind we have words for. It is recognition. Your dog looks at you the way you look at the one thing in the world that makes you feel completely like yourself. Quietly, without needing it to be anything other than what it is. And in a species that cannot speak, cannot write, cannot reach across the distance between their world and yours with language or gesture or any of the tools humans use to say what matters most, that stare is everything. It is the whole sentence. It is your dog telling you, in the only way they know how, that out of every face in every room in every moment of their entire life, yours is the one they keep choosing. And they will keep choosing it every single day until they no longer can.